I'm back in my studio this morning. I'm doing an illustration for an ad agency. The illustration illustrates some kind of pesticide, I guess. Here's my sketch for the first drawing. It's a field of corn, a number of farm crops, and I'm going to do it in watercolor. I'm going to start by doing a mask. If you're a watercolorist, then you already know about this stuff, or at least you should know about it. It's a liquid mask that you paint on the paper, and then you'll see me paint around it, and paint over it, and then peel it off, and whatever's underneath this mask, of course, remains untouched by the paint. So it's a great tool. I'll let you see how it turns out. Throughout the painting process, you'll see me bring my left hand in and blot up excess watercolor paint with a tissue. It's a very frequent technique for me in my watercolor painting. In this part of the painting, I'm using a stiff bristle brush, wetting watercolor that's already dry, and then blotting it up with a tissue to lift color out of the painting. Same thing here, making it lighter than it was. Some of you may notice that I hold my brush in a very controlled manner here, contrary to the way I do my oil painting. Part of that is the difference between watercolor and oil painting, and part of it is the difference, I think, between illustration and fine art. In illustration, the primary focus is the object that's being painted. In fine art, I think, the primary focus is line, shape, color, design, and texture. That's why when I do oil painting, I hold my brushes in a very loose manner, but when I'm doing an illustration, I need to be pretty literal and realistic. At least that's part of the explanation. How's that sound? Pretty good? Yeah, I'll let it go. Here I'm using an X-Acto knife to scratch color off the paper. You can't really see it very well here, but there's a border of Scotch tape, low-tack Scotch tape around the edge of this painting. You'll see at the very end the effect of that border. Here I am lifting the mask off the painting. It's always a fun stage, getting down to the bare white paper, sort of like unwrapping a gift at Christmas time, and then coming back and painting the part of the paper that had the mask on it. Just gives you a nice tight edge, a little bit of control. Here I am painting again the corn stalks, covering up the part of the painting that was white. The very last thing I do in this painting is use an opaque watercolor called gouache, that's what I'm doing here, to finish some of the leaves of the corn. I wouldn't even get accepted into American Watercolor Society using an opaque watercolor, but the purpose of this is not to get in a contest. The purpose of this is to produce an illustration. And there it is. Hope you enjoyed watching. I appreciate you checking it out.